Given an expression, one of the things that we might want to do is to evaluate that expression. Now, we've already met the word evaluate in an arithmetic context. To evaluate an arithmetic expression means just work out all the arithmetic, follow the order of operations, tell me what number it represents. For example, if we say evaluate 9 minus 2 times 3, well, order of operations says do the multiplication first, and then do the subtraction. That works out to 3. What would it mean to evaluate an algebraic expression? For algebraic expressions, we want that word, evaluate, to continue to mean the same thing. We want it to continue to mean, work out what number this represents. How can we accomplish that, though, when we don't know what number the variables represent? We evaluate an algebraic expression for given values of the variables. So here's an example. Suppose we're asked to evaluate x minus y plus 4 for x equals 5 and y equals 2. Notice, these are equations. What are they doing? They're saying x represents the number that makes this equation true. That is, x represents 5. Y represents the number that makes this equation true. That is, y represents the number 2. So these are equations telling us what numbers x and y represent. Now, this sort of thing is very much a math class exercise. In real life, of course, we would never write down an algebraic expression and then immediately put numbers into it. We might as well just write down an arithmetic expression to begin with. However, we'll often write down an expression and then later on find out what numbers the variables represent. So we will still need to know how to evaluate an algebraic expression. It's just, in real life, this is a step inside of a larger problem. The reason we practice this by itself in math class is to build this skill. So, what does it mean to evaluate this expression for these values of the variables? First, we replace each variable with its value. And it's a good habit for reasons that will become clear later when you are performing this step, which is called plugging in or substituting. It's a good habit when you're plugging into an expression or substituting into an expression to put whatever it is you're substituting in parentheses. At the moment, since we're only working with whole numbers and decimals, it's really not going to get you into trouble if you do otherwise. Later on, when we have more complicated numbers, and even later than that, when we substitute variable expressions, being in the habit of putting whatever you're substituting into parentheses is going to make your life easier. So, we've replaced each variable with its value. Notice we now have an arithmetic expression. We evaluate it. So 5 minus 2 plus 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7.